Hey, what's going on everyone? Sam here with Lake Pro Tackle. Guys, we've got some new sleeper gills back in stock. We've got 3 bluegill patterns and we've got a couple other ones to share with you. So the bluegill patterns that we have are going to be Gilco, Sunshine Gill, and Gill. So the one that I really like is this Gilco. It's actually more of a traditional bluegill pattern. So a lot of the times people classify bluegill as any sunfish really that has this shape here, this body, but this guy right here has a little more blue in it, a little more darker hues to it, and this is more traditional bluegill. The sunshine gill and the just regular gill are going to be more of your green sunfish and maybe even pumpkin seed patterns, going to be a lot brighter. So these colors right here are still going to get bit all the time. You know, these are going to sell out fast, so make sure to get them at lakeprotackle.com or come in store here. They're not going to last long. Last shipment we got, they literally sold out within 5 days. So we got 24 in each color right now, so definitely get them while you can. So the next up, we've got 3 of the more unique colors. MEGABASS only makes like 2 shad colors, and this guy right here, the MB Gizzard, guys, let me tell you, it is gonna probably go the quickest. It's gonna be your more traditional shad pattern, so go check that out, MB Gizzard. And then we've got 2 right here, which are pretty unique, maybe a little more technique specific, maybe you're fishing at nighttime, so you might use this guy right here. This is Black Gill. It's a darker silhouette. It's still translucent, so you can still see through it. So light shine through it real well. It's gonna disperse a lot of light, and it puts off a great hue in the water. So definitely check that one out. And the other one, last one we have, is gonna be the Glitter Gnocchi Gill. And it looks like a yellow perch. It's got some gold in it. Still has the bluegill stripes running down. Same great MEGABASS action as all these have. So guys, you want to get these while they last, go check them out. lakeprotackle.com. They're not lasting long. Go get them. All right, guys, so we're going to give you some of our on-the-water impressions. Don't make fun of me. I've got this Revo Toro Beast on as my reel today. It's what I could find in the shop. But we're going to be testing out the sleeper gill, see how it casts. You know, one of the major differences I can tell that this bait has, as opposed to the dark sleeper, is that it has a lot more space between the hook and the main body of the bait. So as you can see, that hook has a nice range to penetrate that fish's mouth, and the dark sleeper didn't have that much space, so hookup ratios with the dark sleeper were a lot lower than what I imagine these ones with the sleeper gills are. So this guy is a 3/4 ounce, and we're just gonna see how it casts, see how it retrieves, see how much that tail moves in the water, and then we'll move inside and do an underwater test. So I just want to see the castability of this thing, and also kind of see if I can feel the thump from long distances away. So we're going to go ahead and cast it out here and see how she runs. I'll tell you what, guys, it definitely does cast like a 3/4 ounce bait. It doesn't quite have the aerodynamics as most 3/4 ounce baits, but you know, it definitely is getting out there with very minimal effort. I am throwing like 40-pound braid. It comes off this bull reel easy. And I imagine if you're throwing fluorocarbon, you might have a little bit more success with some more accurate casts and stuff like that. But you know, it's casting real well. I can tell it's running pretty straight through all this stuff. So, you know, first impressions are really good. We have some structure put in the pond here made by Pond King. It's Pond King habitat, fish habitat. I'm gonna try working it through there. We've also got some pads in front of me, and I just came through that structure and literally didn't get caught up or nothing. So looks like that patent pending weed guard that they have on their baits is working really well. So we're gonna keep chalking it around and seeing what we can do. So when reeling it in, you can't reel too fast. This tail has a lot of action on it, so if you do go too fast, it does generally keel to one side. The bait does stay pretty straight, but it does tilt over just a little bit. So make sure you're not reeling too fast. This is a slow gear ratio reel, and I'm reeling a moderate speed, something I'd do with like a normal deep diving, you know, crankbait or something like that. So not too fast. And again, it's a 3/4 ounce. It's not that big. I'm sure you can definitely skip this real easy as well with the flat surface. So guys, let's take it to the underwater tank and we'll see what we can do with it. All right, guys, so you know what? First impressions of the sleeper gill, I do want to note it is, again, it's a 3/4 ounce bait and it definitely casts like one. So casting distance is heightened a lot. The bluegill body on it is very lifelike. The tail has a really, really hard thumping action on it. So there's a lot of action in the tail. So even if you're not straight reeling this in, as you can see in the bait testing tank here, you can actually work this on the bottom pretty well, like a jig or something like that, and just kind of crawl it across or hop it. And that tail's gonna do a lot of the action. Even when it's just sitting there, that tail's gonna wiggle a little bit. And I mean, those are kind of my first impressions, guys. I'm super impressed with what MEGABASS is doing. I would be interested in maybe, this body, the sleeper gill body, with something like a dark sleeper tail, so a little bit smaller tail that doesn't put off as much action. So that might be something for them to think about if anyone even sees this video. But guys, the sleeper gill, I'm gonna rate it pretty highly, guys, and I know why these are selling out real fast. Again, this guy does have a very stout hook on it, so you're not gonna be bending these hooks out very well. And you can actually see inside kind of how they made this jig head. It's actually like a sled head sloping down the bottom of the bait, and I think that's probably to help with it sit kind of like that on the bottom, so it's feeding up. And you can see, I don't know if you can see through with this light here, but I can see that this is probably its natural position right there, like a bluegill feeding up on the bottom. So guys, definitely check them out. Again, they're not gonna last long. LakeProTackle.com, get these while they last. We got 24 in each size, so get them soon. See you next time. Thanks for watching.